Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. And I have a whole story to tell you guys about with the Audrey Hale situation, what's really been going on in in that area, and what we have. Because this was a trans manifesto that was finally released, and it says some pretty dark and damning stuff, some very disturbing stuff. I think that we need to go over here, and how this was actually federally funded. For the most part, and they managed to use that money to get weapons. I don't think these people should ever get federal funds or what have you if they are being deemed this crazy. Of course, granted, we could also say, well, just because they are trans or whatever, they can't get money or they can't be allowed to. I agree. And or if they have some type of mental incapability, or I'm saying autism people can't have it. I'm not trying to really say that here. But what I am saying is that, it becomes a problem because now they use the money that they had to buy the weapons, which normally they wouldn't have access to in other situations. What we have here is that Nashville school shooter's violent rant revealed at last. Audrey Hale wrote about her torture as a trans girl and how she would kill to get puberty blockers. Transgender killer Audrey Hale wrote about her imaginary Rod and how she would kill to get puberty blockers in the weeks before her horrific attack on the Covenant School in Nashville last year. The Tennessee Star obtained some 4 dozen pages of Hale's writing that shed light on her female-to-male transition and why she shot and killed 6 people at the elementary school in March 2023. Hale wrote about her anger towards her parents, and how she hated her conservative Christian upbringing, and how she had suffered because hormone blockers were not available when she was a child. The explosive writing, sometimes referred to as Hale's manifesto, had been a source of controversy, with many accusing officials of keeping them secret because they would hurt the trans community. Well, this does hurt the trans community, and it hurts it immeasurably. Because the problem is that it goes to show that these people are very, very unwell, which you're going to find out here. As now released, they help explain why the 20-year-old artist who had defended as a male named Aiden shot her way into the Tennessee school, killing 3 adults and 3 9-year-olds before spotting officers killed her. And of course, it goes on to say Hale's journal entries begin with the title "My Imaginary Rod" here says, and include a crude drawing according to the Star. My rod exists in my head. I swear to God, I'm male, Hale wrote in the papers, which were just recovered by police. She then wrote about her desire to have a rod so she could have sex with a woman and her assumed identity as Aiden. She wrote about using that name on a job application for a delivery position led to issues with the company's background check. He also said that being raised as a girl was torture. She worried that high school classmates would call her a dyke or a agate, and she wrote, "That all changed when she learned about transgenderism in her early 20s. I finally found the answer, that changing one gender is possible, wrote Hale. But her mom was not on board, Hale wrote. What she believes how she grew up conservatively and that the LGBTQ, especially transgender, was an enigma, nearly non-existent, Hale wrote. She added, I hate parental views, how my mom sees me as a daughter, and she'd not bear to want to lose that daughter because a son would be the death of Audrey. Hale used violent language when talking about the emergence of puberty blockers in 2010s. They were hailed at the time for helping transgender preteens safely delay the onset of puberty. And I'd kill to have those resources, Hale wrote. 2007 was the birth of puberty blockers and a newfound discovery for treatment of non-conforming transgender children. I was a newfound discovery, probably sure, but I don't think they were actually a newfound discovery. I think puberty blockers have been here for long before that. I just think they were finally able to use it against the individuals for these type of people. They came too late for Hale, who was in the 6th grade. Puberty already hit me, she wrote. She also discussed fantasizing about having sex as a man by creating scenes with her stuffed animals. I can pretend to be them and do things boys do and experience my boy self, as Tony wrote. Tony was her stuffed baby was boy doll, she wrote, is like the boy I am in another form. She simulated intercourse between Tony and another soft toy over the course of hours, she wrote. She even took photos of the scene and lost track of time. God, I'm such a pervert, and all this stuff. Hale wrote, I waste too much time in my fantasies. The entry was written just 16 days before Hale addressed in combat gear and launched her deadly raid on the Covenant School armed with 2 assault guns and a handgun, which we're going to get to that as well. What we have here is that Vanderbilt search warrant revealed prescription list for Covenant killer Audrey Hale confirms fantasies about school shooting. what we have here is that the search warrant served by Metro Nashville Police to obtain information from Vanderbilt University Medical Center about COVID kill Audrey Elizabeth Hale obtained the Tennessee Star. Reveals Hale was prescribed at least 4 medications from the VUMC staff. According to the notes taken by a person who reviewed documents obtained when the search warrant was executed, Hale was given access to Lexapro, or whatever that word is, and hydroxyzine and a sodium chloride nasal spray by doctors at VUMC. Lexapro or Citalopram, I'm going to assume that's how you pronounce that. I don't know why they have these words. Is a depression medication for the family of drugs known as selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs. Which, by the way, guys, SSRIs is a widely used type of antidepressant. They're mainly prescribed to treat depression, particularly at persistent or severe cases, and are often used in combination with a taking therapy such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. And it goes on to say that common side effects for Lexapro include mood swings, headache, tiredness, sleep changes, and brief feelings similar to electric shock, which added that some conditions may become worse when the drug is suddenly stopped. Bresprin is an anxiety medication that the National Library of Medicine explains was first developed as an antipsychotic, but later determined to have useful anxiolytic features. The government website explains Bresprin has recently come into favor primarily due to its decreased side effect profile. When compared to other anxiety medications, Bresprin is not considered a betacine or a barbiturate or etc. These are large medical words that I can't really pronounce. So yeah, and what we have here is something even more crazy, which we have, they have been radicalized with the violent terrorists and stuff like that, and all that. And then we have Kyle Baker saying the Nashville shooter Audrey Hale gunned down 3 9-year-old children and 3 teachers for exactly the reason we all thought. She hated Christian conservatives and been radicalized by transgender ideology, and that's what was going on here. What we have here from the actually Audrey Hale situation is that Audrey Hale, a transgender individual, used federal grant funds to purchase firearms and training for a mass shooting at a Christian school in Nashville in March 2023. The delayed release of her manifesto revealed her radicalization by transgender ideology and hatred towards her conservative parents and Christian conservatives. This incident has sparked controversy and accusations of a political cover-up to protect transgender community in the Biden administration, reigniting debates on gun control, mental health, and the influence of ideology on violent acts. So again, this is, the Federal Pell Grant, which is, pretty much a federal company pretty much allowing this person to purchase guns. For whatever reason, it bypassed our mental health check to where if you have a mental health disability to not be able to get these guns, but they use the federal grant to purchase them anyways. So the insane part is that the federal, what we have here is, if anything, the federal government funded this type of attack, is what we're going off of here. And it says the Nashville trans-shooter full manifesto writings have still not been released, but leaked snippets provide more insight into her state of mind before killing children at a Christian school. She wrote about being autistic and violently hating her body. We have this here, what's going on. It says, trans school shooter Audrey Hale, who murdered 3 children and 3 staff members at the Covenant School in Nashville, teen left behind a journal in which she discussed her imaginary rod and her need to see a trans doctor. She also wrote entries commemorating the Columbine, Colorado shooting. April of '99, the year Columbine was born, she wrote, she also commemorated the birthdays of the 2 Columbine school shooters. In another post, she lamented, so now in America it makes one a criminal to have a gun or be transgender or non-binary. She added, God, I hate those craphead Republican politicians. Only 19 days before the disturbed young woman drove to the school, made her way inside and opened fire, she wrote in her journal, I need a trans doctor, as reported by the Tennessee Star based on a review of the writings. The entry was dated March 8th. 2023. The outlet has been engaged in a lawsuit to force the release of Hale's writing and documents. And I need a trans doctor, the entry read. This female gender role makes me not want to exist. No, Hale wrote after scratching out a word completely to be completely gone in psychical form off the face of the earth. But therapist now is the best I could get for help. She wrote later down on the same page my autism, and she drew proposals symbolizing autism as well. So again, guys, this person obviously had severe autism. And as I said time and time again, that these people are usually targeted by the far left, by the doctors, and they're being preyed upon, these individuals. Now, I want these trans people, these individuals, to get all the help that they can get, right? And they're not getting the help. They're being told these lies. That they can get these surgeries, that get these things, and it's all net negative. Like, a lot of these people are on antidepressants. A lot of these people have something about autism, and they're preyed upon. And what's worse are politicians, Democratic politicians, use these people for votes, and they use these people for monetary gain. Like, the doctors actually use this for actual money, because they have come out and announced and said that these doctors know it's a huge money flow coming in because of all what's going on, right? So because the constant need of constant medical care you get, which is a lot of money, and the medication as well. And I don't think the therapist is doing anything in terms of helping this person, because if that was the case, then that wouldn't have been a problem, right? Like, they would have been, they probably catered to this ideology. And this is the sick part. We all know that these people, that this person needed dramatic help, that this person was begging for it, and they were pretty much ignored for the most part and allowed to purchase firearms. So again, these people should get help. They should get all the help that they need, and it's not happening here. And this person was very, very depraved. This person was very, very sick. And why this person wasn't, put away in some type of safe environment where this could not happen and what have you is beyond me. But this is just the reality. And I want you people to see what's really going on here. What these individuals, in all this. It's really disgusting on how the media and the MSNBC, CNN, CBS, etc., all the very far left media, woke outlets and stuff like that, even Fox News in some regards too, would go out and pretty much say that they are allowing this. Like, they are trying to pretty much allow the media here. As they said, she was radicalized by the modern LGBTQ plus movement. She was sold the lie that she could be born in the wrong body and that she's a victim if her family, friends, and community don't conform to her delusions. And as I said, they're creating terrorists. They're creating terrorists. And I think these news outlets, I think these companies need to be held responsible for all the damage that they've done to all these trans individuals, to all these kids, to everyone, and for actually inciting terrorist attacks, because I know that this is what the news outlet does. I know this is what the Democrats have been doing, because obviously, if that wasn't the case, I don't think this person would have done it. I think if we treated this person properly, this probably would never have happened. And that's just the reality of it. Hopefully, now that we know this story, now that we know everything that's done, hopefully that we can stop these future things from happening, get these kids the help that they actually need here, and stop these atrocities from ever happening. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Let's go share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. This is algorithmic disease, the social media.